The topic motorcycle travel, expectations and reality, because they are always different. In this live stream, I would like to discuss a few things that it looks many cannot understand, because the expectations and reality and almost always different. Almost always they are different. I will talk about the idea of motorcycle traveling, travel all the time or when you really want, motorcycle choice, what motorcycle trips will bring you, can you earn money from it, why do you travel, for yourself or to impress people, and what will be the reaction of your friends and family while you travel. So these are the topics that I'm going to discuss. Each one of them will got some sub questions, and of course, as usual, with your help, your questions, your comments, we all together will try to make a interesting discussion that eventually will help someone who just started with motorcycle trips or want to start with motorcycle trips, someone who is a little bit confused or not secure. So we all together will try to help these people, and eventually they will enjoy the trips when they started. Anyway, the first thing that I would like to mention now or to discuss now is the basic idea of motorcycle traveling, what exactly it is. Because expectations of many people are wrong. Many people start traveling to become some kind of YouTube gurus or YouTube heroes, or to become popular, or to impress their friends, or many like this. But the reality is that no one, just remember this, no one really cares about your motorcycle trips. So every time when you hear someone talking about it, please let him know. The idea of motorcycle traveling is very simple: to see the world, to meet people, to explore places. There is nothing about became famous, became hero, became YouTuber or something like that, or to be more popular in your neighborhood or your friends, or anything like this. It is very simple. You travel to see the world, to explore different places, to meet people, to enjoy your free time. Or at least this is why I travel. When I start traveling, there were no YouTube, there were no influencers or YouTubers, whatever you want to name people like me now at the moment. I was start traveling because I was curious. I wanted to see the world. When I was a small kid, my father bought me a big atlas of the world, this big and thick like that, and me and my brother was watching this atlas like this. To be honest, I was more interested on it. My brother was more interested from technical stuff, from like photography, the early days of computers, but I was really focused on this big atlas. I was opening all of these pages and look at, like, I was taking everything like a sponge, and I was dreaming that one day I will see this place or that place. I'll be a great traveler. This was just my dream, and eventually it came to the reality after many years, and I'm really thankful and glad to all of this. But I never had even a that small idea that motorcycle traveling will bring me here in this deck now, talking with you and be part of this YouTube game. So all of this came on a later stage, without any expectations and without any, how I have to say, I never thought about it, never ever, even for a second. So that's why it's very important for people to understand that expectations and reality are always different. You might expect the best results from your trips, but the reality is different. The trips are just trips. You might like it, you might not. This is the first point. The second point that I would like to discuss is what to do to travel all the time or when you really want. Because some people think that expectations are that if you travel all the time, it will be great. It will be the best fun that you might always have. Because if motorcycle trip is good, does mean if you travel all the time will be even better. But the reality is different. You might not like it. I, for example, don't want to travel all the time. I like very much traveling. I like to do it frequently, but not all the time. I've got this idea once in a while, many years ago, to start traveling around the world and travel maybe about a year around the world. But then, after a lot of calculations and different thoughts, I came to the plan that it will be better for me, easy, and maybe more affordable and easy to control my business and my family if I travel once or twice per year and the rest of the time I spend at home. And I'm so glad that I came to this conclusion because, as I said, expectations that everything is going to be great might be completely different. Not everyone is ready to travel all the time, 35, 6 days per year. To be a traveler constantly, it's not a decision for me. And that's why I decided to travel when I really want. And now I enjoy really this because when I start traveling, when I start any trip, any new trip, I start with such a passion, and I really enjoy it until I don't know until when. Maybe it will be might be a month, might be a two, maybe a three, but on some stage I just want to stop all of this and go home. And when I have this possibility, it's really easy. But when you travel all the time, when everything your I don't know your life is just traveling, you are actually living like a homeless person all the time, and I really don't like this. That's why it's so important to understand what do you really want, and don't follow any trends. You don't need to follow any trends because just because one person traveling all the time and he or she feel good and she or he can earn money or do whatever he or she likes does not mean that you will be the same. Do your own journey. You don't have to copy people because copy paste not always works. All right, the next point that I would like to touch now is a motorcycle choice. And we discussed this even on these live streams many times, this topic, motorcycle choice, how important is the motorcycle choice, and how wrong motorcycle choice could put you in a lot of troubles, how the right motorcycle choice will help you to travel more flexible without any problems, and so on and so on. I talked about it a lot on the channel in these live streams with all of this with you guys, but people always got it wrong. The expectations usually are that the bigger the better, but the reality is exactly the opposite. Uh, it's not necessary to have the most powerful motorcycle or the biggest motorcycle to have a good time or to travel the world. So many people already prove that you can travel with anything, include just bicycle or just walking. So the bigger the better is absolutely wrong. Expectations that the bigger and better it's always better, it's wrong. Reality is exactly the opposite. The lighter you are, the smaller your motorcycle is, the more flexible you will be, and the more you will enjoy your trips and the more possibilities you will open. Because big, heavy, and expensive bikes usually limit your possibilities on the trip. If you have to choose between a nice track, dirt track that you can go with light bike and an asphalt road that's it's not so interesting, but if you have a heavy and expensive motorcycle, you cannot go on the dirt track, so you have no options. That's why I said it's exactly the opposite. And the nonsense in the motorcycle travel world now, everything point people to that direction. Oh, you need this new KTM, you need new BMW 1250. Now we have 1300. Oh, it has this, and that feature. Oh, we'll have traction controls, cruise control, cornering ABS, cornering light. Oh, you cannot travel with all of this. This is just nonsense and madness. All of this. It's nice from a marketing point of view, very nice for people for the producers who actually make motorcycles and sell their stuff, but all of this cannot help you at all with your motorcycle trips. And that's why in this number 3 motorcycle choice is so important to understand this reality right in the beginning. So once again, expectations, the bigger the better. Reality, exactly the opposite. You don't need the most expensive motorcycle to see the world. You need just a motorcycle and will to do it. So this nonsense in the motorcycle travel world need to be stopped. We cannot really stop it, but if you understand it, if a few people understand it now, it will be already a success. Tenere travel, less is more. Always believe in this. Yes, absolutely. Always believe in this. Less is always more. The less kilograms you have in your luggage, the easier it's going to be. The less luggage you have, the easier it's going to be. The lighter the motorcycle is, the easier it's going to be always. Because anything you bring with you on the trip on some stage will be a burden. It might be your kilograms in the luggage, it might be a lot of stuff that you have in your tank bag or in your pockets. Everything is going to be a burden. Absolutely. Agree with this. Less is more. And what is this power obsession? Oh, this motorcycle is too big, 50 horsepower. I need more, 100 horsepower, 120, 130, 40, 50, 60. How much more? What we're gonna do? We're gonna race or what? We're not on the track. It is a trip. For me, 50 horsepower were more than enough for many years. Now on the new Tenere I have 73. Even better, okay, but I don't really need more than that. 72 free horsepowers are enough for me to travel with 100, 110, 20 kilometers per hour. So obsession of power I cannot really understand. And the last point that I would like to touch on, this number 3, this is not a competition. Why people always compete with others? If you stay all day on YouTube and look for adventures, you'll be depressed because you will find so many people with better adventures than yours, or better trips with yours, or better possibilities, or better destinations, or just they make better videos, or whatever. So this competition is absolutely nonsense and you don't need it at all. So motorcycle choice, once again, expectations, the bigger and better. Reality, exactly the opposite. And forget about this nonsense in the motorcycle travel world. Forget about power obsession and don't compete with anyone. Just do your own stuff. It's that simple. And I really cannot understand why people don't get it. It's so simple, but it is what it is. All right, number 4. What motorcycle trips will bring you? Expectations, everything. Reality, almost nothing. This is so funny. I really love this. So people expect that if they go on a motorcycle trip, this will be everything that they ever need. The sky will open to them and they will go into the paradise. This is absolutely nonsense. If you have such a big expectations, at the end you will got nothing. Or as they say, if you ask for everything, you'll got nothing. So of course motorcycle trips will give you a lot, but they cannot give you everything. And it is wrong to think that one motorcycle trip will solve all of your problems. Motorcycle trips will give you a goal, a hobby that will stay for a long time, maybe forever. And this is in my opinion a lot, but this is definitely not everything. If you have problems at home and you want to travel on the motorcycle to solve your problems, it is not going to happen. If you have problems with your wife or your kids and you go on the motorcycle trips to avoid these problems, I can tell you that when you come back they will be even bigger. As they say, the elephant in the room is going to wait for you and it will become even bigger when you come back. So all of this is not a solution when you have problems at home. They will give you, as I said, they will give you a goal, a hobby that will stay for a long time, maybe forever. Motorcycle trips will give you knowledge, they will give you geography, history, geology, and even politics. They will give you all of this information, knowledge that you can gain just because you travel. And they're not panacea, they cannot give you everything, but they will give you a lot. Motorcycle trips will give you happiness. You will become a better man, better husband, better brother, father, friend, anything. You'll recharge your batteries. And if we make a conclusion, yes, expectations are to give you everything, but they will give you a lot, but not everything. So you have to be a little bit more, how I have to say, you have to be more, I cannot find the proper words. They will give you a lot, but not everything. You cannot expect everything from motorcycle trips. And the most important, don't make these huge expectations, because you're gonna get nothing at the end. The next point that I would like to discuss: can you earn money with the motorcycle trips? Expectations are hell yes. Reality is that just a few people are able to earn money from their motorcycle trips. You might be able, but it's not guaranteed. For example, I start to earn some money from my motorcycle trips, but after, I will say, 7-8 years of traveling. And I start earning money from my motorcycle trips because I was just lucky enough to get some lucky situations or lucky accidents that bring me to this channel and to my auditory, to you guys, and many sponsors and stuff like that. And that's why I start to earn some money from these trips. But even so, this money that I'm able to earn from YouTube and from my sponsors and from my trips are nothing to what you even expect that they are. Yeah, they help me a lot, but my life here in Bulgaria is very cheap. I don't need much here in Bulgaria. I've got everything. I don't pay rent. I've got my own motorcycle and properties. So life here is cheap, and with the money that I can earn from YouTube, even that they are not much, I can have a normal life. And the sponsors that I've got help me to travel easy without messing with my family budget, if you understand what I mean. So can you earn money with this? Some people can. Some people could earn a lot of money, but there are not that many. And actually, there are a few people from YouTube now that earn money from motorcycle trips. Just a few people. The rest are just giving money or giving their time. It was the same with me. I was traveling for many years, paying for all of my trips. Now my trips pay at least partly to my trips, but it is not an easy job. It requires a lot of work. A lot of work. As I said, it takes a lot of time and money in advance without any promises. Any promises. So you might be able, might not. If your idea of traveling is to earn money from your trips, forget about it. Better is go and find a job. You'll be better paid. You have to do it for yourself, not for money. This is definitely something that you have to remember it now and forever. Do it for yourself, not for money. Everything you do, not only with motorcycle trips, in your life as well, everything you do need to be done for yourself, not for money, not for anything else. And the next one that I would like to discuss is, why do you travel? For yourself or to impress people? This is actually partly connected with the first one. Expectations is, if I travel now, I will blow their minds. The reality is that you will only blow your wallet. That's it. As I said in the beginning, no one really cares about your trips. And if you believe that if you go on a very dangerous or long trip or a nice destination, when you come back home, everyone will want to listen your stories, this is absolutely nonsense. I learned this many years ago. I traveled for many years. When I go somewhere, it doesn't matter how difficult it was or how interesting or how far it was, when I come back home, no one is scared from my stories. The only people that will like to listen are eventually people who travel like you with motorcycles, because your expectations or your information or your everything that you have seen, it's not the same, and people are not interested if they're not with the same vehicle like you, motorcycles. For example, if I share my experience now with Magadan to a person who travel with a car or bicycle, it will be absolutely pointless. All the experience that I've got, or all the information will be pointless to this person. Maybe a few moments, but people don't really care about your trips. And now when I come back, usually when I go to meet some people here and there, they usually say, "Oh, this is my friend. He's just been to Magadan." I always said, please, man, don't talk about it. People don't care about my Magadan trip or something like that. If anyone wants to listen about Magadan, yeah, no problem. I can explain to him, but there will be just a few people that interesting from your trips. So don't lie yourself that just because you go somewhere and everyone will want to listen at home. Chris, very true. The only people really interested are those who do similar trips on bikes. Yeah, absolutely. People who have the same interest as you. Even my kids never interesting from that way I've been. They might want to see some picture here and there or a short video, not that long. But yeah, this is the reality. So don't expect people to care about your trips. They just don't. Now, for example, I've been to a few meetings since I come back, and one of the meetings in Latvia, they asked me to make a presentation about the trip, and I did it. And people were very interesting, and it went very well. But keep in mind that these are motorcyclists, people who do adventure trips, and they're really focused on this. And maybe the way I explained the stories, I explained mostly interesting moments, not exactly the whole traveling, and they were listening. But I've been asked many times in local groups here to say about the trip here and there, and I always say I don't want to do it because I know the audience and I know that people won't listen, and I don't want to waste my time for people who don't want to listen. And now, for example, in the channel, if I decided to make a video, I make this video once and I upload it. If people watch it, okay, I'm okay with this. But when you need to spend your lifetime with people around you, it's a different story. That's why expectations, I will blow people's minds. Reality, you will only blow your wallet. That's it. No one cares about your trips. Don't even think about it that just because you have been on a long trip, now you're a hero. No, you're the same person. As I said, people don't really have any interest in it. Now, once again, my example, my trip to Magadan. If I said to maybe 50% or 60% of my friends that I've been to Magadan, they don't know even where is Magadan. So what more to explain to them? How they can understand what is to ride hundreds of thousands of kilometers on a motorcycle without they never been on a motorcycle? They cannot even understand me. They'll say, "Oh, it's all right. It's all right. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. That's it." They don't care at all. Just because it is interesting for you does not mean that everyone will be impressed by. Absolutely. There will be always someone better, bigger, with better and more dangerous trips than you. This is again to the competition that we discussed earlier. And now, number 7, what will be the reaction of your friends and family? Once again, I partly already discussed this. Expectations, they will love me. Reality, you will be always the same person for them, no matter you go on the trip or not. If you've been a shitty person, after you come back from the trip, you'll be the same shitty person. If you've been a nice man that people like you and like communications with you, being on the trip or not, you'll be always the same. Just because you've been to a nice, adventure, difficult, whatever trip you've been, is not going to change in any way the way people understand you or interact with you, or relations that you have with people. This is very, very important to understand it. Forget about it. Even your close friends cannot understand you unless they are motorcyclists, unless they go to some trips that they can just be in your shoes for a while. For example, now on my trip to Magadan, I've got some good friends that also travel. That with these friends I was communicating when I was on the road. I was calling there, or after a few days we call each other. They were somewhere, I was somewhere. We discussed the things, important moments and locations and roads and everything. But we're on the trips, we know what it is. We're travelers. We can discuss this information because it is important for us. Maybe next year I will go to his destination or he will come to this destination, and this was important to us. But the friends who are not in this field, they just don't care at all. Example on my trip to Magadan, I told you, only the people who travel by motorcycle could eventually understand what you have done. This is so important. That's why I said expectations and reality are always different. And people who don't travel, especially with motorcycles, they cannot even understand you. So this is basically my basic idea about everything that I wanted to say now. And now, guys, if you have any questions or if you want to add something on this topic, please do it so. And as I said, with your help and with the help of other people, we can make a nice discussion. Also, if you have any questions on this topic or a different topic, or you want to ask me anything, now is the moment. Please go ahead. I am here for you. Chris, many things on my trips have been quite disappointing compared with how I expected them to be. I only traveled in Europe so far, but I have found many European countries to be quite similar. Yes, absolutely. Expectations are it's a funny things. Sometimes you expect so much from a specific country, and finally, when you go there, you realize that this is not what you have been expected. Yeah, absolutely. I also got moments like this, many. So thank you for adding this, Chris. This is important information. Yeah. Tenere traveling. Traveling with friends can change your relations with them. Absolutely. This is also very important. I thought about it and I forgot. Yeah, especially on long trips, even if you have good friends, you might destroy your friendships just because you travel together, because everyone is different on trips, especially when something is going wrong, when nothing goes on the way that you planned, when you meet moments like this, disappointment on the trip, then the relationships could really screw up. If you travel with your wife, for example, it's different story, or with passenger, it's a little bit different story, because you're you're on one motorcycle. Even so, might be a problem on some stage, but when you travel with different motorcycles, different people, even if you've got very good relations at home, could be a problem when you start traveling together, especially on long trips. Few days is fine, but 2-3 weeks, months together, it's different. That's why I travel alone now, because it's just easy for me to travel alone. Thank you very much for adding this, Richard. It's so much, it is actually not so much, it is so simple, everything, but we humans sometimes make it so complicated. Tenere traveler, it's your trip, don't allow others to dictate you. Traveling on your own, you can be selfish. Absolutely, I agree with this. The trip could be only for you, because it is for you. It's your trip. Explorer, do you check the chain tension of your motorcycle on long trips, and do you do it by yourself? Yeah, absolutely. It's something that everyone who has a chain need to do it. I usually know that before every trip I change the chain and sprockets, and I know that after at least 1,000 or maybe 2,000 kilometers I have to check it, because after you change your chain and sprockets in the first 1,000 kilometers they will adjust a little bit, and then you have to check the tension and eventually adjust it. And then after 10,000 more kilometers I have to adjust it as well. But I already travel for many years, and sometimes when the chain is loose I already hear it, or if I visually check it with the finger, I know what exactly the tension is supposed to be. For example, on my Tenere now I have a specific point where I know that if I put the two fingers over there and they are not tight like this, I know that the chain need to be adjusted. So yes, I do it by myself. It's a very simple procedure, very easy. On every motorcycle it's a little bit different how you have to untighten, where to tighten the bolts, but it's easy procedure. Chris, the weather can affect the expectations, reality. Absolutely agree. It rained most of the second half of my last trip, and it makes it a different experience, even though you should expect it really. Yeah, the weather, it's something that could screw a lot of trips. When you have a nice sunny day, you have this nice mood and everything, and when it starts raining, everything goes like, oh fuck, now I have to stay in the rain again. Yeah, absolutely. Weather is very important. Yeah, you just had enough and went home after 3 weeks. Yeah, this is something that we cannot control. We cannot control the weather. We cannot control riding conditions. We can only pray for good weather and luck on the trip. Richard, no matter how big or small is your trip, for not allow others to put you down. If you're happy, that's good enough. I agree, absolutely. You might be out for one day or for 1 year. Just be happy, man. Enjoy your time, enjoy your trip, and be just happy for every single day. Even if you have just a day with nice weather, as Chris just discussed, Nice weather on the trip is like a bliss. Explorer, some people say that you have to check the chain tension when you're on the bike with your luggage. That means the second person is to do it. It is absolutely true. It's not some people say, it's exactly what I do. When I sit on the bike, I just go like this and touch the chain with my left hand. And because I know how much it's supposed to be, this is exactly what I feel. If you make it too tight when you are not on the bike, later when you sit on the bike, especially with your luggage, and put a pressure on the suspension, the chain will be even tighter. This is the right way. Sandro, first time here. How many kilometers do you usually drive until you make a stop? Yeah, Sandro, I usually ride 2 hours or 200 kilometers, whatever comes first. Usually are the hours, but it all depends on the situation. This is like a basic rule. But if, for example, the weather is too cold or rain or something like that, I might stop even often. If the weather is nice, if everything is alright, then I can go even more than that. For example, sometimes if I have a very heavy traffic and I am able to overtake 10, 20, 50 trucks, it happens now many times in Russia. And then 2 hours are gone, but I know if I stop now, all of these trucks will overtake me again, and then I have to take them again, and that's why I prefer just to ride, and it happens sometimes I rode for 3, 4, 5 hours before I really stop. When I see that the traffic is now affordable, then I can stop. But the usual rule that I use is 2 hours or 200 kilometers. Richard, one day we may all meet for a beer and your favorite drink. This will be nice to have this nice meeting. Yeah, I might make something like that, but the problem is that we are all from different locations. But it will be nice to have this meeting point for channel members, subscribers somewhere. I might do it. But anyway, anyone who ever traveled to Bulgaria is more than welcome to just give me a call. I'll meet you here in Varna. We'll have a nice time. You can come to my place and whatever. Sandro, where do you live in Bulgaria? What places you will recommend to visit Bulgaria? I live in Varna, Black Sea coast. What places? The time is not going to be enough to tell you all of them. Bulgaria is a beautiful country. If you ever come to Bulgaria, make sure that you plan at least 10 days, better 2 weeks. The best place, one of the best places in the country is Rhodope Mountain. This is south part of Bulgaria, close to Greece and Turkish border. Chris, I find with most days, even though it's not exciting all the time, there is a normally at least one thing that makes the day traveling worthwhile. Absolutely, I agree with this. Every day I have something like a gift for the day. It might be very difficult, it might be not fun, but always I've got some kind of gift. It might be a nice view, or nice moment, or nice meal, or nice person, but always a gift. Richard, help other bikers in travel if you can. The law of karma will be with you when you need for yourself. Agree. Not only bikers, cars as well. If every time when I see a problem on the road, car, truck, whatever, bicycle, I always stop and offer help. And all of this is only in your favor because, as Richard said, karma will help you after that. Anytime, Sandro. Sandro, where you are from? Is it your first time on the stream? I haven't seen you before that. Now, for example, when you're talking about karma, now, for example, when you leave Yakutsk on direction, the last part of the road that I've got to Magadan, the road to Bons actually, over there, every time when I was stopped for a while on the road, it might be just to relax or to check something, always someone was stopping with car or trucks and ask me, are you okay? Do you need help? Do you have everything? This is how the people are help each other in these difficult regions. But I was the same. Every time when I see car next to the road with flat tire or truck with problems, I always stopped and asked, do you need help? Can I help you with something? So this is how you're supposed to react always when you see people on the road. Explorer, do you have experience with let me remove this, is exactly where I don't need it. With bed bugs during your travel. Bed bugs. Ah, okay. Yeah, I had this experience in Morocco many years ago. I don't know what is the English word of these bugs. They just go into the bed, and usually sprays for mosquitoes help a little bit, but this is part of the game. You cannot avoid it. Yes, I had this experience before. It's really annoying. Sandro, where are you from? You did not tell me. Hey, it's good to have one of these repellents from Switzerland. Okay. Friend of mine told me that in Switzerland you need your working clothes and pyjama, nothing else. Is it true? Because you don't have any time. You just need to work and sleep. My pleasure, my pleasure. Thanks for your questions. As I said in the beginning, all of these questions and the answers or all information that you and me all together provide, this will help to the people who will watch this stream after 2 days, and it might help them to make some right choices. So this is information for people who will watch the stream after that. Okay, thank you very much, Richard. As usual, you're here like a soldier. Boom, on time. Send my regards to your wife. I'm sure that we're gonna see you on the road one day, one way or another. Chris, I was in Bulgaria the other week, but in hiking trip, not on the bike. Well, cool, cool, cool. Where exactly you have been in Bulgaria? Lovely country. I know it's lovely country. That's why I live here. It's fantastic country. It's not true. Which is mean, Sandro, you're a lucky man. You're one of the few people who has a free time in Switzerland. You know what they say? The free time that we have is the money that we haven't got. The money that we have, the money that we have is the free time that we haven't got. In the west, in the mountains south of Sofia. Ah, okay. All about priorities. I agree. I prefer to have free time than money. As I said, I'm not rich man in any way, but I have a lot of friends and I have a lot of free time and I have motorcycle and I can travel. This is more than enough to me. Thank you, Sandro. You too. Thank you very much for support. Thank you for being my subscriber, channel member, Patreon, whatever you come from. Thank you very much. When did you say your South America trip will be? Next winter, next December, I will go to South America. Not this December now, next one. Now December is too soon. I wouldn't be able to prepare myself. It will be next year, next December. So basically for the next summer, I do not plan any long trips. I might go somewhere for a week or two, but nothing major, nothing long. Because in the winter I will go to South America and it will take a lot of preparations and a lot of money, and eventually I'll go there and come back without any problems. I also plan to visit Brazil. The reason I wanted to visit Brazil because many people say that it's dangerous, but I don't believe in this. I would like to see it by myself. Freedom and family. Absolutely. This is priceless freedom and family. Yeah, motorcycles, they are without any questioning. They are the core of freedom. You cannot have freedom without motorcycle. It's just impossible, in my opinion. What motorcycle you have, Sandro? Let me guess, probably KTM in Switzerland. Yes, Chris, I've been to Australia. I've been to Australia in 2019, Australia and New Zealand. I did, there are 7 states in Australia. I've been to 5 of the states. I haven't been to Western Territory, Northern Territory and West Australia. But I plan to go again exactly for West Australia and Northern Territories. Wonderful country, I enjoyed very much. It was 2019, I think was, yeah, 2019. I was riding Kawasaki Color 650 over there, it was given to me. Yes, it's a huge country. Luckily for me, the motorcycle that I was riding there was given to me. This saved a lot of time and money. And the rest of the trip I did it very, very cheap. I couldn't remember exactly how much, but I doubt that I spent more than, I'll say, 4,000 euros altogether for Australia and New Zealand. But just because I was given motorcycle. Sandro, Africa Twin. Okay, makes sense. Oh, for 3 weeks. Okay, brand new. 1100. I saw something on the new 1100 Africa Twin and it surprised me really. Now they use, from the factory, they use Motorex oil, 10W60 for Africa Twin. Is it true with your Africa or you have the old model? And Chris, for your question, how long? It was how long, not how much. I said how much. Yeah, for how long? It took me like 3 months, Australia and New Zealand. I think I remember your videos now, so I'll look the videos up again. I will ship my Tenere over. I went there maybe, but I can be expensive. Yes, shipping will be expensive, and not only expensive, it will take a lot of time because you need to fly over there, you need to release this from the customs, you need to prepare everything. But if you don't have another option, this will be the only one. If you rent motorcycle over there, it will be very expensive. As I said, luckily to me, motorcycle was given for free. So this my Australian and New Zealand trip became very cheap. And if you plan to go to Australia, make sure that you include New Zealand as well, because they're just one next to another. And one advice from me: if you want to go to Australia, go into the winter. I was there in the winter. I had some cold days, but I really wanted to go and see the outback. If you want to see the outback in the winter, it's going to be 15 degrees. In the summer, it's going to be 50 degrees. You cannot see it. That's why I said, if you want to see Australia, go in the winter, not in the summer. Summer will be too hot. And keep in mind that in Australia, you can't ride early morning, so... okay. So, thank you, Sandro. So, you will be with the normal oils. All right. Thank you very much for information, Sandro. Sandro, don't want to spend more than 10,000 for a bike, need the money for trips. Good decision. You can travel with any bike, but you cannot travel without money. So it is absolutely correct decision that you have made to take just a affordable bike. I guess for 10,000 euros, it's supposed to be on low mileage. 2019, 10,000 euros. Is it big adventure? Yeah, I'm always amazed. People spend so much money for motorcycles, and they don't have money for traveling. It's just nonsense. When you can travel with basically any bike. All right, guys. Once again, thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. I hope that everything is alright with you. We'll meet each other again next week, the same time, Sunday, 8 p.m. East European time. The topic of the next live stream, I don't know. We'll find something interesting. If you have any ideas, you can always tell me. We'll try to talk about it. Tomorrow I will have another video on the channel about comparison between the old and the new Tenere that I've got now. On Thursday on the second channel I will have another one episode from my trip to Magadan. It is still in Europe, but once it's go to Russia will be even more interesting. My pleasure, Chris. Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you very much to all of you guys, Explorer, Sandro, Chris, all of you. Take care and see you next week. Ciao. Okay, Sandro. It's standard 20,000 kilometers with DST. Alright, that's why it's expensive. Okay, have fun. All of you guys, have fun with your trips. Bye bye.